Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Harpy Stitch. This is Flosstube number 38. I am sorry I am filming this a day late. I got some extra time at work and just didn't have time to film before the family activity started for the day yesterday. So I am filming this on June 23rd, Monday, instead of June 22nd on Sunday. I am Amy, and this is my corner of the internet all about cross stitch. If you are new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. I have got some life updates. I've got some whips. No finishes this time around, unless you count finishing a whip go goal for May. But the project's not done. So it is a rainy day today. Yesterday was oppressively hot. We hit like 93. I didn't even check the humidity. I didn't want to know. But the rain overnight should break the heat. It already has, but it should stay in the 70s all week. So it'll be a nice week here. Excuse me. Now I have to sneeze for some reason. Is it just going to be one? It's usually more than one. Anyway. I am so glad you're here to spend some time with me. I hope you enjoy what you see. Please do all the YouTube-y things, like, comment, and subscribe. I know there are tons of Flosstubers out there, and my projects are not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and that is okay. Alright, so I have welcomed you. There's a couple of things I want to talk about before we get into the stitching. One, NAMIWalks is coming up in September, and I do this every year. So NAMIWalks is a fundraiser for NAMI, the National Association of Mental Illness. It is a great organization. They have chapters all over the country. I don't know if they have chapters outside the U.S., but they do a walk in the fall where you can raise money for them. And they do things like offer free classes. They help people find resources for free. You know, they give support. They have support groups for like caretakers of the mentally ill. They have groups for mentally ill people to join. They offer free classes every month. They will help you find a therapist. They will help you find resources to learn about your diagnoses or your family's diagnoses. It is a wonderful organization. So I am going to put a link to my donation page below in my description. If you can donate, that would be great. If you can't, if you would just share it, that would be awesome too. I have been doing this for a while now. Mental illness is a very important cause for me. My husband suffers from chronic mental illness. I have anxiety, social anxiety, generalized anxiety. I am dealing with long-term persistent depression. So yeah, it is an important issue in this house. So I originally started walking for my husband before I had been diagnosed and knew I had my own issues. So if you would like to help out with that donation, that would be wonderful. If you can't, that's okay too. Second thing is more fun. Jason X Stitch, most of you are probably already watching him. His channel took off like a rocket. He is hosting a round robin, and the unique thing about this round robin is, excuse me, the unique thing about this round robin is that it's not with people you already know. So he has set up on his video, he's mentioned in a couple of videos, but below I will link the video that he introduces it. He is looking for people who want to participate and get to know new people, because most of the round robins are generally tend to be people that you already know, so they're your friends, but he wanted to do a wider community one. And so he set up a questionnaire, and you can join, and then he'll match you with 3 other stitchers. Based on your preferences of project size, length of time you want it, your taste in projects, where you're located, whether you're willing to collaborate and do shipment overseas, or if you want something more local. So I will link that video below. He has had the survey in multiple videos since then, but I'll link the original one down below. The deadline to sign up is June 30th. He will be matching people on July 1st, my husband's 50th. So we actually have the kid coming to visit along with the son-in-law. So yeah, we're excited about that. But so if you are interested in joining a round robin to get to make some new stitchy friends, check out Jason X's channel and fill out the survey. All right, now on to stitching stuff. So it has been a very productive stitching month so far. I was doing the Pride challenges with Fandom Stitching Central, and each of those was 500 stitches based on the prompt. So I have gotten a lot of progress on quite a few things. In addition to the weeklies, the first couple of weeks I did not do the weeklies, but the last week I was able to do the weeklies because I wasn't in summer school and things. So first off is the Cutesy Friends Sal by Creatively Crafting. I started this on April 2nd of this year. This is on approximately 32 count. It was ice dyed by me, and I'm doing it 2/2. So this is, I went for this because I'm an 80s kid. I also love the Friends TV show, but mostly I'm an 80s kid. Look, I have Tenderheart done. Well, I say it's done. There is one thing missing off Tenderheart, and I meant to do it and I forgot. I forgot to do the little white French knots. I am actually going to look at tutorials for colonial knots. I hear those are easier, and I know Mad Morty has mentioned that she has a colonial knot tutorial on her page. So I think I'm going to go find that. But because of the prompts this month, I got a whole Care Bear done. I'm so excited. I actually had Care Bear stuffed animals when I was a kid, because yes, I am that old. And then I am missing a couple of colors. They're hiding in another project to do the little squares between the letters and friends. So I got this done. I needed a few more stitches, so I came over here and finished the N and worked on the D a little bit. But yes, it is going to be so adorable. I picked this fabric because it is very 1980s to me in my brain. I feel like I had Trapper Keepers this color. Hopefully that didn't make anybody sick. But I love this. This is so cute. If you have not noticed, or if you are new here, I have a wide diversity of stitching preferences. I have some super cutesy stuff. I have some big BAP projects. I have about the only thing I don't stitch is traditional samplers, but there are a few of those that appeal. Like the Scary Sampler with all the horror movie and sci-fi references in it. Stuart and Stitches is doing that one. There's a couple of them in some of the magazines that I have that are like samplers of like gravestones, but they're not the more traditional girls practicing their stitching samplers. That is not personally my bag. I think they're gorgeous, just not something I really want to stitch. If it's spooky related, then I'll do more of a sampler thing. But I have some big projects that are super spooky. I have gorgeous, like, high art kind of stuff. I have fantasy, horror. I have a wide variety. I do a lot of smalls. I do full coverage. I'm kind of a cross-stitch slut. Anyway, hopefully I don't get in trouble with YouTube for that one. All right, next is Halloween and Hawk Run Hollow. I started this on May 26th. This is my first Carriage House sampling pattern, and I am doing it on 40 count Inca by Fox and Rabbit. That's my first Fox and Rabbit fabric. So this fit a couple of my prompts. So I know tons of people are doing this. It is 371 by 278. So pretty ginormous, but most of the blocks are not full coverage. And I'm doing it 1/2, and there are 42 colors. So here is where I got this week. So I am missing, or I shouldn't say I'm missing. I have the grays for the tombstone. Ooh, let me pull it back a bit for my lighting. I want to get really close though. The grays, some of the grays are hiding in other projects. So I've kind of skipped around a little bit. This is the beginning of the door. That's one of the windows in the house, or the church in the first block. It is a church, I think. But not bad for not too long to work on it. And I have to pull this out. Like, see, look at this. This is Inca. Isn't that gorgeous? It's got a little bit of orangey pink mixed in. It makes me think of butter. I don't know why, but it does. And usually when I'm filming my Flosstube, sorry, I was tilting my light a little bit to get better lighting. I have sun coming in from my patio door as well to get color on the, or light on the other side, because I have no overhead light in my living room. And yes, now I have a big shadow behind my head, but you'll be able to see the projects better. But today, since it is rainy out, I am not getting light from this side of me to balance out the light on this side of me. So it's lighting is going to be not the best. Sorry, huge piece of fabric. I want to fold it up so that it doesn't fall. I love it so much though. Look at that. The color is so gorgeous. I got this at Needle Bling Designs shop that used to be Black Cat Stitchery. So, all right, next, Dragons of the Sabbat. I was able to work on this one for one of the Pride challenges. It was work on turquoise or light blue fabric. This is by Paine Free Crafts. It is no longer available there. I believe it is now available on Heaven and Earth Designs, and they have, here, let me pull out my Pattern Keeper, because yes, I gave in to Pattern Keeper. And so I am doing the Paine Free Crafts version. Oops, let me pull up the mock-up, not the pattern. This one, Heaven and Earth Design has two versions, and they have one that has the names of the different sabbats on it, apparently. I am ditching, you're supposed to stitch, excuse me, I'm setting that down. You're supposed to stitch the black. I skipped stitching the black. And when I show you this, you're like, are you sure? And I am sure. So I am doing this on, I started this was my New Year's new start for this year. This is on 28 count even weave by Fabric Flair. It's printed, it's called Creationist Blue. So I thought it gave it a space feel. I did like 500 and something stitches on this week, so let's get that. So the part that I know you're going to think, this is actually 939, and I'm wondering if I should have stitched it or left it blank, but I think it'll add some dimension, even though it almost looks like black. So this little bit of stitches in here is supposed to be black, but I'm not doing the black. If I get far enough along, and this will be a pain in the butt if I end up doing it, I might end up pulling the 939. I really don't want to, because all these little spots here are also 939. But I think, especially with some of the colors like the light blue dragon and the white dragon, I think it'll add like kind of an outline backstitch effect with the 939. So I'm hoping it looks okay. If not, I might end up going back and stitching in all the black. I hope not, because that's a lot of frickin' stitches. And let's see, how many colors are in this? 90 colors, and I am doing it 1/1. So yeah, I got a lot of progress. I mean, I'm still, I don't even think, let's see. I actually have my pattern keeper so I can pull it up. Oh, well, this is inaccurate because I already marked off all the black stitches except for a few, like these here aren't marked off, and there's a few that are in the dragons themselves that I think might be necessary for outline. But according to Pattern Keeper, I'm at 41%, but that's only because I ditched the background. So that is not an accurate number. Yeah, kind of crazy. But it is looking beautiful. Next, oh, I'm so excited about this one. I am so close to a finish. So this is Rare Horror Flies by Noctifloradesigns. I started this on August 3rd, 2023. This was the first mystery stitch along that I bought. All my other ones had been free. This is on 18 count hand dyed fabric called Deadly Blooms by Witch's Garden Crafts, and I am so in love with this fabric. I know it's wrinkly. I'm so in love with this fabric. I wish I had a ton more to stitch other things on because it's gorgeous. I'm doing this 2/1 and it's 18 colors. And this matched a weekly. It matched purple. We need purple fabric. And I could use this because it had purple. It didn't have to be solid purple. But this right here is the only one I have left to do, and then the project will be finished. It was so hard to do my other prompts because I really just wanted to finish this. And there's probably still 1,000 stitches because that is a lot of stitching, and then I have the decorative things here. There are some placement errors, but everything's off like one row, and I did check, and it's not going to cause a problem. They won't touch each other. They'll be a little close. I've talked before about how my bottom border was the wrong length, but everything's fitting. And when I thought it was just one corner that I was going to have to fix, I thought about fixing it, but it turns out that this little dude, not that little dude, this little dude here is one too high. And so I'm not frogging all that. And when it gets done, you won't be able to tell. So shh. But yes, so close. And then she did release an optional thing where you could put like the numbers next to the creatures, and then it's gonna have, like in an old botanical nature book, and then it'll have the key down here with the name of each of them. And I am gonna do that. I like the scientific drawing stuff. So yeah, I am so close to being done with this. It was so hard to not just work on this until it was done. But I wanted to get some progress on some other things too. Isn't that the way of stitching though? Is there any project that you have a hard time not doing all the time? Or is there a project that you really love the finished work, but it is just hard for you to actually work on it? I have a couple of those. I want the finished product, but sometimes the particular stitching is not my favorite. So that is that. For the dark blue prompt for Pride, and they did not have to be Pride specific, there was just the colors of the Pride flag. This is Puppy Came Back by Haunted Frames. I started this on May 23rd. It's only 57 or 56 by 77. It is on 25 count, dyed by me, and I'm doing it 2/1. There are 14 colors. And since I got 500 stitches on it, look at that! I am missing some of the colors. They're hiding in another project, so I've had to work around the missing colors. So this will be a memorial piece to our dog, Jester, that will be given to our child. And then I have a kitty one for her kitty that she lost last year. And then on that one, it'll be a kitty paw with a kitty ghost and a similar thing. I think because there's no black in this, and I thought about putting, there'll be another row of stitches inside this bone here. Thought about putting the names on here, but I think it'll be too small to put it in the bone. So if I did, I would probably put it here below the dirt. But, oh my goodness. So cute. Now, I heard somebody in one of their floss tubes talking about after you've hand dyed, you should starch your fabric again. I've never done that. I didn't even think about it. And I actually like how soft this is. It was pretty soft before, but I actually like that feel. I get if you're doing it professionally, you might want to do that. But good progress. That's another one that if I just worked on it, it wouldn't take very long. And if I could find the colors that are hiding in other projects. But that is a stitcher's life. Somebody did suggest on my last floss tube, they suggested putting a little index card in to let you know. And I've done that a couple of times where when I thought about it, I would jot it on the pattern, like this symbol is here, or I got this, I would do it on the pattern that I borrowed two, and I would say, oh, this came from this pattern, but then I would forget to write it on the pattern I stole it from, and that's really where I need to write it so I know where to get it. But in the moment I don't think about it, and I'm like, oh, I'll remember. I don't remember. Okay, next is BFG, and this was for a weekly prompt that was something that is at a wedding or you could take to a wedding. So children are frequently at weddings, so I worked on a design with a child in it. I started this one on May 11th. There are only 13 colors. I'm using a cotton bag that I got at Michael's that is about 32 count. They're nice because they're pretty much even weave. And I'm doing it 2/2. And this is BFG by Fiona Baker. And she now has a body. And I've gotten her dress done. And then this is the beginning of BFG's finger. Yeah. So very cool. And then on the other side of the bag, I did not work on it this time, is the beginning of a Matilda project that I've showed you before. So when I've got both designs done, I will put some interfacing in the bag, and this will be my rolled doll bag. Because who doesn't need more bags, right? But there she is. I cannot remember the character's name. I have only read the BFG once. Alright, so this project, there's a couple of things I have to do to this in the next week. Oh my gosh, really, in the next week. Time is flying this summer. Alright, so this is Frogwarts by Black Needle Society. I started this on May 2nd, 2024 to get down to year 5 to start my year 5 project for my first Frogwarts retreat last year. This week I worked on weeks 1 and 3. This is on 36 count Stonewash by Seraphim. I'm doing it 2/2. So let me show you what I did on 1. So I actually used this for Pride, and I did 500 stitches in red. So that is Bandana by Classic Colorworks. So I just did the diamonds, but I got really far on the diamonds. I need to go back and fill that in, but it's okay. And then for year 3, I did orange, which is Fallen Leaves, for Pride flag, the orange on the Pride flag. I was having a hard time thinking. Pink. Oh yeah, this was also for pink. I needed pink. I think. No, I didn't use this for pink. Did I? Must have, because I have nothing. Like, it's amazing how much not pink I have. Anyway. But no, I needed orange for the Pride, so this was my orange. Fallen Leaves. Now, before I put this away, because Frogwarts opening night is Sunday, so we will get our password and we can start for the 100 bonus points if we finish the design. So what I have to do this week in preparation is, this is year 5, which I am also super close to finishing. I just have this corner and then some back stitch I want to add that weren't in the original design. But I need to start adding the footprints to go between. I think I'll just do a couple to get started, because I will probably do a left start and just work my way across. So yeah. But yeah, that's what I have to do. So that's part of my plans, is getting that in. But I gotta go back because I love the bronzy orange color of that Fallen Leaves. So, yay! Frogwarts is almost here. Alright, and let's see, for some other colors, I think I showed you the colors, the progress I made on my next one for Pride already, because I did this right away. This is Shawshank Redemption Sampler. It is a commission stitch. I started it in December. I didn't write down the date because I've done like 20 of them at this point. It is 11 count every Ada, 4 colors. I got a bunch done for Pride. I had to jump around in an unusual way, but I went to my stitchy group because I host a little stitchy group. Now it's going to just be a general crafting group. And Sunday we went to 29 Stitches. It is a new independent fabric/craft store. They already have some DMC. It's not all organized yet. They're still waiting for some of their fixtures to trickle in. They're doing a lot of independent places, so their inventory's trickling in, so they're still doing their soft open, but they have a place for you to sit and craft. And so I met one of my regular cross stitch people there, along with a friend that I used to work with at Michael's who crocheted. Who crocheted, and she was making herself a crocheted top with the pattern she made up in her head, which I was very impressed with. So I took this with me because it's 11 count Ivory Aida, 3/1. There's only 4 colors, super easy to work on no matter what the lighting. The pattern is harder to read than the stitching. And I haven't counted up the stitches that I did, but I made some progress because this I know the pattern. I have like how many these little triangle-y things are in each direction memorized because I made it so many times. And this little cross thing that I'm making in the corner will be 36 stitches. I really have done it that many times. I can tell you, so the center, where's the center? The center of the design is between the I in right and the M in judgment. I can tell you that it is, from the center of the design, it is 19 stitches down to the dot in that I, and about 22 stitches to the bottom of the M. That's how many times I've done it. But it's okay. So, got a little progress on this week. I don't have an order. He's anticipating some orders. So he did pay me for one in anticipation. So we shall see how many I get. I'm hoping not too many. All right. I like the extra money, but too many at once, it gets stressful. Then, my final whip for you. So I talked a while back about how, because I had done so much, itchy nose, I didn't want to put this in a pattern keeper because I didn't want to go through the hassle. Well, I was trying to work on it on Friday, and it was annoying the crap out of me. I have already transferred another design that I had started with a lot less stitches done. But I was like, oh, this is so frustrating. So I finally broke down and said, you know what? I'm just going to take my progress and I'm going to put it in Pattern Keeper. So I started that Friday. I worked on it Saturday. And I didn't want to try stitching on it the same day. So I finished up putting in Pattern Keeper on Saturday. This is another reason that I delayed my Flosstube, because I actually wanted to get some work done on this. This is my May whip goal is finally done. I finished day 2 on this. This is Wisdom, the stocking version by Hayde. I started this on August 1st in 2021, 4 years ago. And it's on 25 count Lugana. It's 84 colors, and I'm doing it 2/1. And part of my frustration is I'm doing it 2/1. And it makes it really tight. It makes it hard to see. But I got like 586 stitches in this yesterday after putting it into Pattern Keeper. Finished putting it into Pattern Keeper on Saturday. I am just over 9%. And there's a full page finish in here and a partial page finish. And I'm only at 9.45% or something like that. But it did go much faster with it in Pattern Keeper. One of the reasons I stopped working on it last night is there is a few little confetti stitches in the Raven there that are 3743, and my 3743 I borrowed and put it in another project, and I don't remember which one. And I don't want to go much farther and have them disappear because of the tightness of the stitches around them. But I had been doing a page finish, so you can kind of see my page line here. But most of the time, when I do that once I wash it and stretch it out a bit, the threads relax, and then that disappears. But I am being very conscious of not making page lines now, which is actually easier in Pattern Keeper. I actually had to go through and take my pages that I had highlighted and match them up, especially as I was getting to all this funny craziness over here. And make sure, because I had done a partial page finish and then there was just like a little bit on a page. So I had to make sure I wasn't just assuming and checking the edges. This was pretty easy, like this part I knew. So it took a little work to get it in. Oh, and now I can show you, because it's in Pattern Keeper now. I will show you what the finished design's like, just in case you don't know. So this is what it looked like. So this is a full, they did it as a design by Cherry Gerhardt, is the artist who did this. And I saw this, and my kid is a Ravenclaw. So that's a raven and then the diadem, which I just realized was the diadem, duh. And then I asked him to turn it into a stocking, cut it down into a stocking for me. And you can buy the stocking version on their site now. So that's what it'll look like. But I think it's going to go much faster now that I have it in Pattern Keeper. My child is very patient. And my husband even checked because of the whole she who shall not be named issues going on. And my kid's like, no, I still want it. I'm like, okay. Get here. All right, so plans. Or haul first. Let's do haul first. So I did buy a little something. My husband's like, if you're going to go to this little independent store, you should buy something. And I bought a very small something. Now, I belong to a website called freecycle.org, and they have, you can set up where you live in it, and they let you know when people are offering things for free, and you can post things that you need for free. And so somebody was doing a garage sale, and they said that they had some stuff for free on a tarp. So I went and checked it out because I had to go out and run errands. And so, I don't know, there you go, you can kind of see. So I got these little pumpkin confetti things, just partial bag of them for free off their tarp. And they had a copy of Black Phone Stories by Joe Hill. And, hi, that was Dwemer. You could see his head for a brief second, just his ears. And I thought those would be cute. They're supposed to be like tossed on a table for a party. But I thought they would be really cute. Like I could use them as sequins, maybe to bling up a project. No, kitty. That is for mommy. No, you stop. I know, it's got plastic on it. All right, my cat loves plastic. So, we made a trip to Savers. Kitty, what are you sitting on the mouse? No, okay. You're just bumping the keyboard with your butt. Hey. I'm sorry. So, Savers I found is a great place to thrift. It's if you're from Britain, it's a charity shop. So, it's just like a resale shop. But I tend to find a lot of good deals, like these little wooden hoops for $1.99. And I can always use more hoops because I have too many dang projects. My husband's like, you should just finish something. Then they had this, and I have no interest in the little teddy bear that is in here, the little pattern for the teddy bear that's in here, but it was $1.99, and it is a plastic hoop frame. And I have some projects that would be just perfect to go in here. So I was like, for $1.99, I'm sure I can find a project that I can frame it in this little plastic frame. Then, here was my treasure. This was my treasure find. So I found, so this was the price, $3.99. It's all crafting beads, including, look at this. And can I, don't spill the, a couple of the silver ones got in here. This is like a full thing of Mill Hill beads. And then There's some other bags, which I don't know what brands they are. I think they were from a beading kit because they're in these little section bags and it looks like they only used one color. So that might be, I don't know, is this how Mill Hill packages their beads with their bead kits? And then there's these. These are kind of cool. These were not, I don't know if these would go well on, I think these are probably more for jewelry. Can you see? They're a little square, a rectangular beads with flowers in them. But I mean, just the box of Mill Hill beads are more than that. And then there's all these silver ones, which could be more Mill Hill, I don't know. They were just in the bottom. And then these were the coolest ones in here. Sorry, I know a lot of people don't like the crinkly. Now, if you can tell me what brand this is, well, this one is called Wall Bead Washable. So I've never heard of this brand, but I have these tubes. And then these really interested me because they have corks in them. Does anybody know what brand of beads comes with corks at the top? I mean, these are old as, I don't know, whatever. But I will have to take, oh, here's some Craft House Boutique design trims, some little red beads. And then here's some random red beads. Here's these. So, I mean, some of these are probably as old as I am. So I will have to sort through those at some point and put them in my little bead box collection. In fact, I think I have some more of the Mill Hill beads that are in there. Kitty, what are you doing? Oh, he's okay. He's just wanting to hunt outside. So those are my beads. And then this is the fabric that I bought from 29 Stitches. They had kind of a remnant of it. And it's a pretty good size. I mean, it's a good size. It's bookworms. Look at the little bookworm, guys. They're so cute. They had some really fun fabric. They had a really pretty shark fabric. They had this beautiful purple dragon fabric. They had some nursery fabric that had Sasquatches, and if it hadn't been some sort of flannel, I might have got that to make my husband a Hawaiian shirt out of, because Bigfoot is awesome. They had this fabric that was sharks dressed in like Hawaiian shirts and sitting in inner tubes and drinking like a summer beach shark thing. It was hilarious. And there was this fabric that were bees inside of spaceships and astronaut suits. It was so cute. So some really great stuff. They had a fabric that was lava lamps that had, like, instead of regular lava, all the lava was like little abstract kitty cats. So many fun things. I wanted to support them, so I bought a little something. This was like, Kitty is bumping the tripod, apologies. So I bought a little remnant. I will probably still get most of my fabric at Michael's, simply because I get an employee discount, and let's not cover my face while I'm talking, simply because I get an employee discount and I'm there all the time. So this will probably be turned into a project bag. Well, probably more than one project bag. Kitty, stop bumping the tripod, you goofball. Alright, so plans. Let's see, I'm going to pull my notes up here so I'm not looking down so much. I finished all the stitching challenges for the Pride event, so I've stitched something with every color that's on the Pride flag. In addition to that, there were some challenges like 30 minutes of self-care, going for a walk and taking a picture and telling why it was important, kind of things like that. I will probably not be writing a poem. I am not a poetry person, and yeah. I am going to work on my fandom weeklies, which when I'm not working, I can do like 3 in a day. I had down here that I was going to finish my second day of wisdom, but I already did that, so my May Whip Go is done. Now I have 4 days on cliffhanger in June to finish, and it's not that long. So that's one of my things, is I'm going to try to finish up my weeklies really fast and then use the rest of this week. I have to get do some house cleaning in anticipation of the kiddos' visit. I've already been working on super cleaning the house, but now I gotta speed up my timeline. Well, just get it done faster. So I want to do my 4 days of cliffhanger before Frogwatch starts. I do plan on doing an unboxing video when my Frogwatch box arrives. I'm crossing my fingers that there's fabric this year, because there wasn't last year, and I was really disappointed in that piece of it, because I had seen the earlier unboxing videos where there were pieces of fabric, and you know, so that would be good. I will be filming a whip parade on the 29th. My Flossiversary is July 7th, so I will be filming it ahead of time. So I'm between the unboxing video and filming my Flosstube, I might miss a week of my regular updates. That's okay. And I will be editing my own video. My husband will help me learn. So yeah, there's a lot going on. I'm a little nervous about editing a video. Yeah. So we shall see how that goes. I've got a lot of other things I need to do, like make some more doctor's appointments. I have my micro-credential, my summer class, which I think I'm going to just do after the kid visits now. I've got one more session of summer school. I should probably go in early and start arranging my new classroom the way I want it. And take some time to breathe. I still have some school stuff to sort out. I'm not eligible for any grants because I already have a master's degree. So I'm trying to figure out a way to fund my college without taking out more loans, but it will probably have to be student loans. So yeah. So, I hope you enjoyed my projects. Please let me know what you are working on. If you have any projects that you're working on with me. Oh, one other thing. I almost forgot. Reminder. If you are interested, join up for Jason X's Sal. I, again, will put a link to the initial video about it down below. I am also joining the Unconventional Cross Stitches free Sal that is coming through their newsletter. It is an octopus. I will be starting that in July, probably not on the 1st when the first part comes out, because that's my husband's birthday. Kids coming to visit. We're either going to go out to eat, or there's a zoo nearby, like an hour away. It's a little small zoo, and we might go check that out if it's not too hot. If it's too hot, we'll probably just hang out and watch movies or something. But yeah, so hanging out with the kid next week, Frogwarts. I really, I'm thinking about trying to figure out how to do an Advent box, although that's crazy with school expenses. Chances, yeah, I won't be doing it. I can dream, but it won't be happening this year. So yeah, I'm still trying to get caught up on Flosstube watching. All right. I don't have any shout outs this week because I'm still really far behind. Jason X Stitches and Stuart, I mentioned them, so I'll put their links to them down below. All right, things that I've been watching and reading. So one of the things we've been doing this summer is our son-in-law is enrolled in a cinema as communication course. So we've been watching his movies that he's been assigned with him as whenever we can. I did miss 12 Angry Men, which I haven't seen, and I should really watch that. So things we've been watching this week, we watched Unforgiven with Clint Eastwood, which I was thinking I had seen it, but I didn't remember anything about it. But it could be that I just watched it so long I don't really remember. That happens with me. We watched The Maltese Falcon with Humphrey Bogart, which I had never seen before. I thought I had seen it, but I hadn't. And then yesterday we watched The Day the Earth Stood Still from 1957, which was an anti-war message, which was talked about nuclear power and how maybe we should be using nuclear energy for power rather than weapons. things like that. And then for fun, we watched Avengers Age of Ultron. And then for books, I finished Doctor Who Stealer of Dreams, which was a Chris Eccleston Doctor with Rose. And I like the Rose Doctor Who books because the lady who plays Jackie, her mom, is the one who reads all the audiobooks featuring her character. So you basically have Rose's mom, Jackie, reading you the stories about her daughter, which makes it really fun. And she's actually a really good reader. And then I started Well Read Black Girl by Glory Adem. And it is a collection of, it's an anthology collection of essays by Black women authors talking about why they love reading, or how it's influenced them, how they got to their different things like that. And then after each segment, there is a list of books that are connected to what they talked about for kids. Well, not even just for kids, for Black girls to read. Some of them are young adult books, some of them are picture books, some of them are essays on Black feminism and all sorts of things. So it's really interesting so far. Some of the books I've already read, some of them I think I should read, some of them I know I should read. So yeah, and I think I might use that book for one of my Pride prompts, which is to find a book or a movie by someone from a different background from you and talk about how it changed your opinion or expanded your knowledge, which, you know, the different perspectives here would be excellent for that. All right, well, that's all I've got for you today. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you are working on. I think I already said this, but that's okay. If you're working on any of my projects that I shared, if you're going to be at Frogwarts, even if you don't have a YouTube, I would love to meet you and chat with you a bit during the retreat. I'm really hoping I win a door prize this year. I didn't last year, but it was really fun anyway. Then it'll be a day of house cleaning. My husband would like some peanut butter cookies, so I will probably make the dough today, and because you gotta chill it. The good peanut butter cookies, you always have to chill it. Plan on, maybe if we actually get some storms, cracking the window. We'll probably open the door and let fresh air in. We got a carpet cleaner, like a shampoo, not a shampooer, but the water carpet cleaner thing at Savers for like $40, and so I really want to shampoo my carpets and do a deep clean of my carpets before the kids come. So we'll have to plan out, because you know, you have to move all your furniture, so then we're gonna have to plan out when we're gonna do that so we can hang out in whatever room's not dry. The trickiest one will be the living room. It has the most furniture, and it will make it difficult for the cat to get to his food and water. So we shall have to be creative, and that's okay. But then my house will be super clean, and then it's a matter of maintaining it, which apps are wonderful for, because I lose track of time between when I did things. So have a great week. Share with me your stitching. I'd love to hear what you're working on. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, ask me some questions. You can email me. I am also on Instagram. I'm on Stitchmunity, which I keep forgetting to update, but it is a social network just for cross stitchers, created by 2 cross stitchers. So I look forward to chatting with you, and thank you for spending time with me today. May today be kinder to you than yesterday, and tomorrow be kinder to you than today. Bye.